Assalamualaikum, my dear students. I hope all of you are fine and doing well. So the topic here we are going to discuss it is the introduction to the electrochemistry. So the word electrochemistry is basically a new to you, and the word electro is basically derived from the word electricity, and its meaning is electricity, and chemistry is the study of all the chemical reactions. So basically, electrochemistry is the branch of the science in which we deals with all the energy changes. Now, what type of these energy changes can be? So basically, it is the relationship of the electricity with the chemical reactions. So now, what is the main relationship between these reactions and the electricity? We will study it under electrochemistry. And here we will discuss about the electrical energy, that how it is converted into chemical energy, and how do the chemical energy is converted into the electrical energy. The simple mean is that if we are having the electricity, then how we can use it to drive the chemical reaction, and in this way we will gain the type of energy. This energy is known as the chemical energy. On the other hand, if we have the chemical energy or the chemical reaction and it is producing the energy. Now, how do we use its energy for the production of the electricity? And now this energy will be known as the electric energy. So all these methods and techniques or the processes we will study it under this electrochemistry. So basically when we talk about the electrochemistry, it involves two types of the reactions or the processes. The number one is the spontaneous process and the second one is the non-spontaneous process. Now, what does mean by spontaneous and non-spontaneous? By definition, the spontaneous process that happens by itself and it do not require energy. That process is known as the spontaneous process. On the other hand, the process which do not happen by itself but it requires the energy. That process is known as the non-spontaneous process or the reaction. Here we have a very simple example from the daily life. If we have a stone and we just put it over the top and this is a very inclined way, then it started to move downward by itself. As it is moving by itself, we are not going to provide the energy for this movement. This process is the spontaneous process. On the other hand, here we have a stone at the earth's level and we want to move it in the upward direction. If I'm going to place this over there, it will not move by itself, but we have to provide some type of energy or we have to push it up to move it from downward to the upward direction. So this process is known as the non-spontaneous process. This process basically requires energy to take place. So that's why it is known as non-spontaneous because it is not happening by itself. And spontaneous and non-spontaneous process basically the all processes that are studied under the electrochemistry. They are involving oxidation as well as they are involving the reduction. So we will study all the types of the reaction of oxidation and reduction under the electrochemistry that involves spontaneous and non-spontaneous process. Now, what is the scope of the electrochemistry? Basically, when we talk about the electrochemistry here, we will study about the electrolytic refining process. Here we will learn about the electrolytic deposition of metals. We will study all the types of the oxidation and reduction reactions. And on a whole, these oxidation and reduction reactions are also known as the redox reaction. So we will have a great scope of the electrochemistry because here we will discuss about the energy conversions. As two types of energies we have electrical energy and the second one type we have it's chemical energy. Now how do they are interconvertible by spontaneous and non-spontaneous process we studied under that electrochemistry. After we have some studies under the electrochemistry, the number one we have its electrolysis process. So the process that just takes place in the electrolytic cell, it is studied under the electrochemistry, and here electro mean electrically and lysis mean the breakage. It will be studied under the electrochemistry. The second process which is known as the Cruyan. This is a spontaneous process that happened by itself in the environment. It will studied under it electrochemistry. The last one is a redox reaction that is involving oxidation as well as the reduction. Both these processes will be studied under the electrochemistry. So this was all about today's lecture. I hope you guys understand, and if you have any queries, you may ask me about that in the comment section and I will get back to you guys soon. The next topic that we will discuss it is the oxidation and reduction process. Overall, it is known as the redox reaction, and we will study oxidation and reduction in terms of oxygen and hydrogen. Means it may be lose or lost or it may be gained. So we will study it in the next section. For that time, you guys keep learning and have a good day.